We back once again, fans, and we here live in Townspeople Nation Studios.
I'm your host, Paris Porter, and with me is
Nate the Truth,
and this is Proper Talk.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Proper Talk. I'm a little under the weather today, Nate. I gotta let them know.
Oh, okay.
But we're gonna work through this and we're gonna make it happen.
Oh yeah, you soldier.
Before we jump into the hot topics, let them know how to reach us, man.
Now, on the screen right in front of you is our links to our social media. Please, again, we want to stress the fact that we want to hear from you. Your opinion matters, not just the point of view of Paris Porter or Nate the Truth. We want to hear from you as well. So remember, hit us on that Twitter, hit us on that Instagram, hit us especially on YouTube. We want to hear from you. And again, remember, see that link right there where you can send us to through our Gmail if you want to be interviewed, or pretty much ask us, hey, how about you guys research this for the next episode, and we will do. Again, thanks for watching and supporting. But first, we want to get into the hot topics.
Oh, we got some juicy ones, man.
We do. And today's hot topics is the NBA Finals, also to the recent trades in the NBA, and also to end off the recent draft and the rise of the international players. How about that? All right. But first, let's get into the aftermath of the NBA Finals. P, did the Cavaliers actually expose the small ball? Live by the three, die by the three?
I believe so. Now, one thing we must keep in context is that Andrew Bogut was hurt.
That's correct.
Andre Iguodala got hurt as well.
Yep.
We know the suspension of Draymond Green.
Yep.
All those things played a key factor in the outcome of the NBA Finals. However, LeBron James and the Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving, continuously attacked the basket.
That's correct.
No shot blocking, no rim protecting in the game. What's going to happen? It's open season on the lane. I think the Cavaliers took full advantage of that. And we've seen it play out through the course of the series. LeBron was able to get to the line.
That's right.
Get to the paint, score at will, as well as Kyrie Irving.
And so, Kyrie, what he said he went into Mamba mode.
You know he had to reference the Mamba.
Hey.
You know, but
right.
I do believe that they, to a certain extent, exposed the small ball. I think we've seen some of that in the Oklahoma City series.
Okay.
Where they went to their quote-unquote death lineup. The Golden State Warriors went to the death lineup.
Yes.
Where you had Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Harrison Barnes, Klay Thompson, and Stephen Curry without a true center or even a true big on the floor.
That's right.
And Oklahoma City took them right out of that by playing physical, attacking and rebounding. So now that as a result, Golden State had to adjust. They had to bring back their players. Instead of downsizing, they had to play bigger. And we see Cleveland take advantage of this well, particularly on the defensive end of the floor. They make Curry play defense. I thought that they did a fabulous job at attacking that basket, and we've seen the results.
Oh, yeah, and most definitely.
Now, we would never know what would have really happened if everyone was hurt.
That's true.
But it's even now. We had
Right.
We had Cleveland win.
But think about it. You're in the championships, right? Through the course of your 82-game season, you're gonna everybody's hurt. Nobody's 100%.
We had Cleveland.
You understand?
Yep.
So hey,
and we had Cleveland beat those guys while Draymond Green was suspended, but he finished and had a fabulous game 7. But Andrew Bogut was out.
That's right.
Iguodala was hurt. But last year, let's not forget Kyrie Irving out the game 1 in the NBA Finals. Kevin Love missed the entire NBA Finals.
That's right.
So it's even. Both teams have beat each other while they were hurt. I would love to see those guys play each other at full strength. I don't think we're going to see another matchup like that, with a repeat. I think that's probably the last one there.
And you got to step up when the time calls. You got to go out there. They're professionals. That's when stars are made. Right? Yeah. So with that said, I want to ask the LeBron question. And this is the question. Since he came back home, he brought the title back to his hometown. Can we now say that he is one of the greatest to ever do it? Can we invite that conversation?
I believe he's been in that conversation. Prior to winning these titles. We all know basketball is a team sport.
That's right.
And you need horses to win that, man. You need some of the best players in the game to win it. No one's won a championship by themselves. No one can do it alone. LeBron James is definitely, in my opinion, a top 10 player to ever play this game. He definitely threw his name in a hat. Is he better than Michael Jordan? That's the question. Is he, better than Magic Johnson or Kobe Bryant? Everyone wants to make these comparisons.
Right.
Inevitably, We'll never know, you know.
But does he have to be? Because I recently had a conversation with someone, and they honestly said, he's like, you know what, Nick, if you look at it, if you put LeBron in any one of these Eastern teams that could compete, they're automatically in the playoffs, possibly in the finals. So it looked like LeBron is like the missing piece to most teams, that he could jump into the team right now and take it to the finals. As in a Steph Curry, his system in which he's in today, it works for him. But could he bounce to another team like LeBron? You get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I think his greatness is there, because truly, if you have a LeBron on your team, best believe you're going to the playoffs. You know?
Absolutely.
So we can look at that.
Yeah,
You know?
and I do believe LeBron James. Now, when you said something key, you said that in the Eastern Conference. I don't think you can plug LeBron into a Western Conference team and they go into the finals.
That's true.
Yeah, but,
that's true.
You know, with that being said, I do believe LeBron James can elevate almost most teams in the NBA playoffs, to where I do believe Steph Curry.
And that's a rare quality. That's a rare quality.
And Steph Curry is more of a product of a system type player.
Exactly.
That's not to take away from his greatness.
Not at all.
It's evident that he works extremely hard. Great shooter, great ball handling skills. When you're talking about leading a team, however, putting the team on your back, I do believe LeBron James has shown the durability and consistency to continually carry his team throughout the course of the playoffs and the regular season. It's not an accident he's played in 6 straight NBA finals.
Right, correct. Now, speaking of, there's a hate and a love fest with LeBron James. My theories is this. Let me compare it to this. Now, other previous greats, the reason why other people may hate them is because, well, simply put, that when they're on the floor, they will make your team either look bad, or you're not going to the playoffs, or they're taking the title away from you. Now, with LeBron James, per se, a lot of people do not like, how can I say it, his character right now.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people saying that, oh, you snitch, you gave Draymond Green out of the game, you weigh 260, you flopping, you didn't have to hit the floor like that. So what outweighs the best? What I'm saying is he getting a bad shake, P? Meaning that, hey, he's a bigger guy, he's not a smaller guy like Steph Curry, is what he's doing, his character, like, can we say that, can we justify his behaviors? Like what he's been doing lately? What was this love and hate thing going on with him? Why do the fans feel this way?
Well, I think with LeBron James, ever since the decision back in 2010, there's been a love-hate relationship with LeBron James when he decided to leave Cleveland. Throughout the course of his career, fans of different teams have held the opinion that he flops a lot.
Yes.
I think a lot of superstar players flop, but some people believe LeBron James started the trend of superstar players flopping.
Actually, I think
Draymond Green said that.
Really?
During a press conference.
Because I think Manu Ginobili probably is like the king.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is before LeBron, so you can't put that on LeBron. But LeBron probably just studying the tapes and just using the system.
Right.
Because, that's how we've been taught. If you want to get ahead, know how to use the system.
Well, it's a different era of basketball.
Is he smart? I think he's smart.
It's a different era of basketball, definitely. And sometimes you do try to split the referees with, extra curriculum flopping, so to speak.
Right.
But, I think ultimately when you're as good as LeBron James is, and you won at the highest level as he has, there's going to be naturally teams that don't like you, players that don't like you, fans that don't like you.
That's correct.
And you have to roll with the punches. Can I explain the love-hatred with LeBron James? It's tough to sum up. It comes down to success, him winning, and some of his tactics.
Right.
I do think that rubs off on fans the wrong way.
Right.
Ultimately, I think his greatness outweighs it all.
Right. And the true word spoken, you can't please everybody. So with that said, probably LeBron should just continue on doing what he do, because, again, not everybody is going to love you. I mean, people hated Michael Jordan. People hated Kobe Bryant. Now he's the one on the top of the hill. They hate him. Speaking of, the face-off between Steph and LeBron. And the reason why I say this is because it alludes to that LeBron challenged the unanimous decision from Steph Curry, saying that, yeah, you're the MVP of the league, but I miss the NBA, all day. So what do you feel about that? Like, do you think it was fair to LeBron to attack Steph's MVP title for this season?
I thought it was fairly boisterous of LeBron James.
Yeah.
I think throughout the course of this season, you heard LeBron James taking slight shots at Steph Curry.
Yes.
It manifested itself during the NBA Finals, where you see LeBron James when he blocked a few of Steph's shots and he got very animated with Steph Curry. You know, I think that rivalry there took LeBron James, you know, the wrong way. Evidently,
right.
Everyone crowns Steph the king.
That's correct.
It's his NBA. It's his league. LeBron James said, "Hold up. It's not
that.
time now.
Right.
It's not time." So I think LeBron James, I think he felt some sort of way of Stephen Curry being back-to-back MVP, being the first unanimous MVP ever, and I think LeBron James wanted to put everyone on notice that he's still the best basketball player in the world,
right?
And that it's still his league. I think he went out and he proved that during the NBA Finals this year.
That makes sense because it's a competitive league. He got the title of king. Somebody's trying to step up to his throne. He's just trying to defend it.
That's what
How
it
about
is.
that? You know, so that's what it sees. So now we're going to get into the trades, and one of the biggest trades that we seeing was from the Chicago Bulls getting rid of Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is now going over to the New York Knicks. With that said, P, what do you feel about those pieces? About what's gotten traded. What do you feel about that?
Well, first and foremost, I scratched my head when it was a head scratcher when you look at the trade, particularly what Chicago got back for Derrick Rose. When you're talking about Robin Lopez, when you're talking about Jaren Grant, players not of Derrick Rose's caliber. Let's just say that.
No.
So the Chicago finally wore thin of Derrick Rose's act, so to speak, with them talking about him thinking about his contract when he had 2 years left in his deal, with the injuries. We all know he has a civil case going on.
That's correct.
Right now. Did those things play a factor into Derrick Rose being traded? I do believe that it was time for a split for both. And I think there was best case scenario for both. I'll explain it this way. Derrick Rose, it was definitely time for a fresh start. I think he may have been comfortable. He's at home. He's playing in his hometown in Chicago. I think it was time for him to grow and get out of there. I think it was definitely. I think New York can revitalize his career if he puts the work in.
Okay. And this is contract year because every time you're in your contract year, that's when you start.
And it looks like the Bulls is in rebuilding mode now. Right. Are they going to go through a full-fledged rebuilding effort?
Perhaps, because if they took a Brook Lopez, I don't see Joakim Noah staying. Or being in that mix.
Well, Jimmy Butler would be the key if they were thinking about. That would be an indication that they're in full-fledged rebuilding mode if they trade Jimmy Butler.
True, because the Celtics is out for him, and Thibodeau's want him over there with the Wolves. He's really pursuing. So I mean, with that said, if they are rebuilding, would you just wipe the slate clean and just go ahead and get rid of your only shooter out there?
Well, you still need somebody for the ticket buyers. You still need somebody for them to show up and watch.
Exactly.
So I don't know if you trade Jimmy Butler.
Lopez, I don't think those are ticket sellers. I'm not trying to go I'm just saying.
It was definitely head scratching. I do believe Derrick Rose, from his perspective now looking at it, it seems like he was incredibly salty.
Yes.
He threw a little salt when he said, hey, "I don't know why I was traded. But thank you." He said that to Chicago.
Right.
I think it was hurtful to him.
I think it was mostly to the fans. Hey, thanks for supporting me. To the front office, whatever. I understand. Whatever.
Well, it seemed hurtful to me when I listened to his response from this take. You're supposed to be in the prime of your life, your career. You get traded for players who are of equal value, which is the perception.
Right.
So I do believe he was hurt and he was confused by it to a certain extent.
That's correct.
Hopefully that fuels him to come back to the closest he can to
a high
the MVP Derrick Rose.
That's right.
We'll see what his health allows him to do and if he puts the work in. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Now, with that said, Pete, and this is very interesting, and I noticed this about the Bulls front office. Ever since Michael Jordan's ring, we haven't seen the Bulls really be able to grab a ring or justifiably compete in the finals. Now, we spoke on the first episode about instability, right? This is exposing the front office. And the reason why I say this, Pete, because one thing I'm noticing is this. At one point in time, the Bulls was hanging their hat on, hey, we had the greatest player in the league, and we didn't even pay him, the max. That was of the past. This is a whole new era. Do you believe that the front office got lucky? Or do you think the front office really is strategic? Like, you think by rebuilding, they can get us back to a championship mode? What do you make of this front office?
Well, it depends on which philosophies they're operating off. From the outside looking in, it seems like the Bulls' philosophy of winning a championship, so to speak, building a championship team is a little bit outdated.
Mm.
We don't see the Bulls make high quality free agent splash very often.
Exactly.
Now, the Chicago Bulls do a tremendous job of retaining their own players and drafting their own players, and I do give them a lot of props for that.
Okay.
However, the Bulls, we always know they had a problem paying Michael Jordan back in the day. He really didn't get paid until his last couple years of his career.
Right.
So, the Bulls.
And a lot of players complain about the front office.
I was just
And their
getting ready to get
tactics.
into that. Yeah.
Okay. So now.
Yeah, and Derrick Rose, it seemed like, again, it goes back to he threw a slight shot
Right.
on his way out.
Right.
Chicago Bulls, is it a money thing? I did hear Mitch Kupchak, when he talked about his pitch to free agents recently in a press conference after the draft. He said every 5 years you got to reevaluate the worth of players with the collective bargaining agreement, with the cap and the TV deals, making the cap explode.
Right.
Some players will be worth more money. You have to pay it.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to see what the Bulls do as far as how they're going to allocate resources to build the ball club. Are they going to continue to invest since they traded Rose?
Right.
Are they going to, hang towards the lower salary? We'll see.
Okay. Now, also too, you got two big stars, and that's over there in Oklahoma. You got Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook.
Oh,
now
yeah.
they just had a big trade. What do you make of that? Which just recently happened over there.
What was interesting with the
Orlando and the OK's trade, yeah.
Well, with the decision of Durant looming for free agency, that's going to be extremely interesting to watch. Was Serge Ibaka and Kevin Durant great friends? Will that turn off Kevin Durant? There are some reports that they didn't get along as well off the court. We'll have to see. Will that factor in Durant's mindset as far as picking a team? Another thing is, which is interesting, is I feel like the Oklahoma City Thunder would already be a championship team if they never traded James Harden. They'll have an extra piece there to where it's a big three there now.
Let me ask this real quick question. Do you think James Harden was almost like compared to being like a Jamal Crawford, like that ultimate six man? I mean, he could be in anybody's starting lineup, but what I'm saying is that to have that type of energy to come off the bench, that depth, he gave monster depth.
Oh yeah.
So, but
and he's playing against the second unit players.
Exactly. So was that ego too big? No, I should be the first, but maybe getting the ring wasn't his first priority, you think?
Well, I think it was a smart business decision for him.
Okay.
While you're in your prime, you have to take the highest bid.
True.
If a team's unwilling to pay you what you deem is worthy of yourself, then you have to make the best financial decision for you. I had no problems with that. However, I do think Durant should take a look at the organization and say, hey, are these guys gonna put forth the work to put a championship team around me?
Now, Oklahoma make some moves. It looked like
they're making moves. But are they going to be on the cheap end of that? Are we going to get rid of Durant? Are we going to get rid of a James Harden when it's time for him to get paid? Are we going to get rid of a Reggie Jackson when it's time for him to get paid? Are we going to get rid of a Serge Ibaka when it's time for him to get paid? And is Durant going to say, maybe I have a better shot with an organization who's willing to go over the luxury tax and build a championship team around me? It'll be interesting to see how that plays itself out. Ultimately, I do think Durant will stay.
Okay, all right. But it looks like they are making efforts, and that's a good thing. Now let's get into the draft.
Oh.
Now, one thing we noticed about the draft, and here's the question that is being asked: did the NBA send a message to the one and dones by drafting international players high in the draft in the first round?
Well, I believe so, and I think with the collective bargaining agreement coming up here, it seems like an issue that's going to be stressed. The one and done rule. We hear a lot of people in the mainstream media petitioning, so to speak, for a 20-year-old age limit for the NBA. So I think this could have been a strategic move for the NBA. And I'm not saying there's any colluding going on, but I do think some of the NBA organizations are looking towards players who are maybe more mature and players. I've been hearing this term draft and stash. Players who don't have to come over right away, who don't have to add to the payroll right away, who are currently under contract overseas. So the draft's a big gamble. If you look at year in, year out at 60 picks, you end up with, out of every draft, so to speak, it's 1 to 3 or 4 all-star players. So it's not like every year you get a diamond dozen of great players.
Right.
That's not how it works. But it's something interesting to look at. Only 16 out of the 30 players who were drafted in this year 2016 draft were born in America. So it could be another. You can look at it from a different angle. Are they sending them a message by coming out too early? Deontay Davis, who I thought was a first round talent, slipped to the second round.
Yes.
We seen the kid from Washington slip to the San Antonio Spurs.
That's correct.
He's the third pick.
Right. Do you think that's a big grab for him?
That was a big grab. We seen a kid from Kentucky, Sky. He fell all the way down to 27, 28 in the draft. The production was on the low end for these players. These one and done players. However, the production from some of the international players on the low end as well. Back in their countries, they're not getting as many minutes. So it's interesting to see how they're making these picks. I would love to talk with them and figure out what's the mindset of a GM when he's making these picks,
especially if they're in the era of analytics.
Yeah, right. Or is it I want to know if it's are you looking for talent? Are you looking for best potential as far as what a player can develop into? Are you looking for immediate help? I want to know what do GMs think while going into the draft. Best player available? Is it because it's tough to say.
Right. So to lead into this and the rise of the international player, I want to say this: how would it affect going forward the current NBA? And I want to take two players, for example, and they both were in this year's playoffs. I want to take Serge Ibaka and I want to take Kevin Love, for example. Both had to adjust their game. There's inconsistencies now. Serge had to switch out and now be on the wing and take shots. Kevin Love was a double-double guy, but now he's not consistent anymore. And I think it's unfair to call these players not good ballers. It's not that. It's because now the rules has changed. And now, if you notice, NBA is looking more to go international. So that means that they're inviting, international players in kind of like a Euro-style ball. Question is this, Pete. How will this look going forward? Will we see a different NBA? Now that we're seeing high draft picks and now we're seeing more of a Euro ball, what do you make out of this?
I believe we will see a different style of NBA. It's been in the makings for years. We're already watching a different style of NBA,
right?
Where the game is more finesse, it's more space and pace style of play. Get up and down the floor, take threes.
Yeah.
That's the kind of basketball we will see emphasized moving forward.
That's correct.
I don't foresee the return of the big man or the dominance of the big man anytime soon. We do got Cat Carlton Towns. We got Okafor, who was drafted.
That's true.
We got Boogie Cousins, Dwight Howard. There's still a few of the dinosaurs left.
But could they be the last of the Mohegans? That's it. We're not going to see them. Now we're going to see, the 4 and 5 are going to be more like Dirk.
Hey, we already seeing it. So that's the style of play that will be emphasized going forward.
Again, guys, let us know about today's hot topics. We want to hear from you about LeBron's love and hate relationship, all the way down to the new league. About the rise of the international players. Again, on the screen, please use these links to leave your comments, especially on YouTube. And again, we would love to hear from your opinions. And when we return, we're going to talk about a debate that we noticed on the internet a lot of people are talking about.
Just the entree.
They call it suspect. They believe that sports could be possibly staged or rigged. We're just going to get into that and find out about it. We'll be back in 60. Welcome back to Proper Talk. In this portion of the show,
we're getting ready to get into the entrees, is what I like to call it. And it's
Mm.
been getting real interesting on social networking
Yes.
as far as this big debate going on.
That's
well, not
right.
a debate, but it's been claims made over years.
Yes.
Let's just get right into it, man. That's not sugarcoating.
Oh yeah. So, are sports rigged? Is it staged? So, here's the thing, and this is the question how I want to invite to this. Why do you think, P, fans are suspect about the current nature in sports? What is it?
Well, it's the way officials call games.
Mm.
I think it's a few things. First,
Okay.
first off, I will say it's the way officials call games, particularly in baseball. It seems like if you're getting the strikes, the strike zone varies depending
Okay.
on the pitcher, the teams, and the umpires.
Okay.
So it seems controlled.
Mm.
Same thing with the NFL. When you're talking about down the field, whether it's pass interference. I remember watching games as a kid. I used to always hear the announcer say, "Well, you can pretty much call holding on any play," you know. And then in the
Right.
NBA, there's always a free throw disparity between the winning team and the losing team. Not always,
Mhm.
but for the most part, it is always the winning team shot more free throws, and they're
Mm.
typically at home. So
Mm.
those sort of conspiracies combined with the Tim Donahue of this world, who back in 2007 made the claims that the NBA fixed games. He referenced the famous series with the Lakers and the Kings,
Mm.
which raised a lot of eyebrows. You know,
Mm.
and where the Lakers, I believe, shot, I'm gonna say 30 more free throws than the Kings that game.
Okay.
When they won
Okay.
it. So those are the reasons why fans think sports is rigged.
Mm.
We remember owner Mark Cuban
Mhm.
going after David Stern back in the
Ah.
07 finals
Okay.
when Wade was getting all the whistles. And he
Okay.
said your league is rigged.
Okay.
We heard Goran Dragic,
Mhm.
who plays for the Miami Heat now. At the time, he was playing FIBA's World game,
Mm.
and he sent out a tweet and said that FIBA they ended up. He said that he believed that the game was fixed.
Mm. Okay, let's get into that because it did come out that there were some corruption within FIFA itself.
Well, in the soccer,
In soccer itself.
Right.
So, with that said, are there evidence to this claim? Because if we can look at one league and say, there's some corruption there, how can we look at the NFL, the MLB, and the NBA the same way? Could it be? And if so, could a lot of different factors weigh in? So, what I like to always do too is like to relate it to your everyday life. So, and again, fans, please weigh in your comments. And the question I want to have to you, the fans, is this. Do any of you hold sales positions? Do any of you hold quality assurance positions where, to make sure that a product has been inspected before it's released? Are you making sure that when you quote a price to a particular individual, are you really looking for their best interest, or are you looking for the interest of yourself and your corporation? And with that said, we can't just automatically attack the sport world saying that you are the most corrupt nature when actually it's been proven that man itself is corrupt, not the sport itself. So what I guess I'm pointing to, alluding to, is this: could it be based upon evidence of a few bad apples, meaning that you do have some people in an organization that's trying to please its board members or stockholders? You have people that's trying to raise up in the ranks. Could we be seeing that?
Well, I'll just bring it back to the beginning. I'm gonna get to your question.
Mm-hmm.
The suggest sports are they rigged? And it was a title we were gonna run with,
Yes.
just because it was so hot.
Yes.
But to suggest it's rigged, we're suggesting that
Yes.
the fans are saying that the players are rigged. That
Okay.
The referees are, because
Okay.
when we say sports rigged, who's rigging the sport?
That's true.
So are we saying it's the owners? Are we saying it's the players? Because ultimately, the players and the referees control the game.
Mm,
So the referees or a coach can't make a player miss a shot.
that's
So
true.
to what extent? And that's why I never believed sports were rigged to that extent.
Okay.
I never believed
okay.
that. I do believe that all sports are controlled to a certain extent. Not to a certain extent. They all controlled. That's very evident if you watch. You look at any business.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the lottery.
Okay.
Is the lottery controlled? It's the same thing.
Right.
So with your entity or with your organization,
Mm-hmm.
or even as a whole, the league, you're the commissioner. What's more what's more do I want ratings?
Okay.
Do I want
Okay.
a champion? Do I want a storyline to sell? I think that all those things play a factor in.
Right.
Ultimately, are the games rigged? No, I don't believe so. I do believe that the action is decided on the floor. The champions decided on the floor between the two teams. Again, I hear references when Draymond Green was suspended.
Mhm.
Well, the league didn't make Draymond Green, attack people in that certain area,
Right.
so to speak.
Right.
So, now opportunity presented itself. Did the league overstep its boundaries by suspending Draymond Green? Is the question.
Okay.
I do believe something should have been done. So,
Or were they forced? Meaning that, now it's out to the public. And just saying like the NFL with certain rules recently about, domestic charges. If that video did not get out to the public, will we still see Ray Rice on the field?
that's a great question.
You see what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm bringing to is this, and I can understand why people say it's rigged or it's suspect, calls or moves made. But think of it this way, because we don't look at the everyday player. Because you brought up the players, that means the players have to be cooperative in this too. We don't know behind the scenes if you have disgruntled employees, players themselves. You have certain players say, well, look, until I get this many touches, I ain't doing nothing. So some people can see it. How come such and such shot at this percentage and now it's low? He could be disgruntled. You don't know. It could be a call come from the front office and say, what are you doing? You're messing up the tickets. Now, listen to this. Michael Jordan made a point about attending and making sure he's at every game. He said this. The audience, the consumer, they want to see me, right? I want to make sure my butt is out there every day.
He said that.
Humping.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure that could be a son and a father, for the first time coming to see me, and I'm going to perform. Now let's fast forward. These players are very privileged. They feel as though they don't have to work as hard. And I don't want to attack too hard because I can understand, because they probably look at the older players like, man, you sacrificed a lot, but you didn't gain much. And I can understand that. But the work ethic. So maybe possibly that we're seeing that how players are involved in rigging, maybe it simply is that they're looking out and they covering their own ass. Maybe it's about them.
I just don't see any shape or form where players are rigging, coaches are rigging.
Right.
I do believe that it comes from, you hear it often, like when you heard Stephen Curry's wife after they lost, and it raised eyebrows because he found out.
How you gonna say that? You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the Warriors season, and some people can make suggestions that, hey, it's rigged that way. But how is it that now when you lose, because think about it, OKC was down. I mean, no, OKC was up 3-1. And then they came back and won. But when the Cavs do it, oh no, it's rigged.
Well, it was eye-opening to say the least when Stephen Curry had 6 fouls, the MVP of the league, who's never fouled out of a game before.
That's true.
And some of those fouls, quote-unquote fouls, were those fouls? Come on, man. So, and I think a lot of people shared that same sentiment that, hey, those were some bad calls to give not only just the MVP, but any player, those kind of whistles, and you're taking them out of the game.
Here's the thing. Is Steph Curry that man right now to get the majority of the calls? And this is what I mean by that. At certain times in their career, a Michael Jordan would look at a ref and say, man, you didn't call that a few years ago. You understand what I'm saying? You see a Kobe Bryant look perplexed. Man, what are you doing? Why are you calling this now? You understand what I'm saying? So Steph has to understand that even though he's the future, the king will still get, guess what? The majority or sway his calls. But this hasn't been in the NBA all the time.
Well, let's remember, man, Steph was the unanimous back-to-back MVP. Now, only unanimous the second one, but come on.
Okay.
So he threw all the fans were saying,
but you can't behave like that. You can't just, you know what I'm saying? You can't just, come up like, man, why? Listen.
Hey, he's showing passion. That's okay.
He is showing passion. But let me tell you this, though. And yeah, I'm old school. Let me tell you this. When Michael Jordan got put on his ass by the Detroit Pistons, yes, he alluded to the media.
Here we go, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I have to because, even though he's a bit of an asshole, hey, it's true though. Listen to this. He even said, man, the way they playing ball out here, this is crazy. Listen to this though. What did he do the next season? He didn't keep bitching. He got in that weight room. He said, "You gonna put me on my ass? Fine. I'm gonna have the best drop back. I'm gonna have the best cutting." What I'm saying is this. He didn't lose his cool like that. You know how he lost his cool? Let me tell you how he lost his cool. Let's talk about the Mamba. How the Mamba, watched films about Michael Jordan and all the other greats. You know what? When Mamba was facing these allegations against him, he came back and he became the Mamba. You understand what I'm saying? He silenced the critics. How? By the game. He didn't cry. He didn't throw his mouthpiece. He didn't sit there in the corner and let his wife talk. No, you know what he did? He got to work. So why are we missing that, Pete? Where's that? Well, all I'm saying is we saw greatness. And now these new players coming in and expect automatically. You know what I'm saying? I shot, and I'm the best shooter in the game. Yes, you are. But you still have to do more because the people want more. We alluded that in the first episode. What have you done for me lately, society, correct? So guess what? You were hot a couple of games ago. What about right now? That's how you're going to behave? That's how you're going to, that's what we're going to do?
I didn't know we were judging from game to game. I thought it was at least from season to season.
In a season
Ultimately, it's comparing apples to oranges.
Okay.
Because
fair enough.
That's just like when old people, older people would say that, we used to have to walk, and they would exaggerate 10 miles to school.
That's true. That's true.
But no, listen.
Okay.
Versus old school and new school, I do believe the game has changed. The players are more pampered and they are more privileged today.
Okay.
And that's not such a bad thing. So ultimately, though, these young guys now, they're going for it. You got to give them their respect.
So they're wiser, but now weaker.
I wouldn't say they're weaker.
Sure?
No.
You think they're tough?
Absolutely. Tough, strong work ethics. These guys get to it.
Okay.
And they got a much better skill set than the old school cats.
Okay.
That you grew up watching.
Okay.
Just want to let you know.
All right.
They know how to improve and how to get better at the game.
They did better at their paper, and I ain't mad about that.
Well, they better at the skills of the game as well.
You think so?
Easily.
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
It'll be interesting to see what they believe out there, man.
Yeah, most definitely. Again, guys, on the screen, please hit it up on us in our social media, our Instagram, our Facebook. Also, hit us on Twitter. And also, remember, Gmail. If you have any ideas on what topics we should cover, or even today, if you feel as though we made any errors, again, we want to hear from you. Again, it's not just our opinion. We want to hear from you as well. So, again, guys, is sports rigged? Could this possibly be staged? I can honestly say there's probably something to it, but not to the degree that you guys are making it out to be. Remember, things that you get off the internet and things of that nature, man, you got so many softwares out there. You got Photoshop, you got editing programs. I saw this one video where they said Draymond Green is mind control, and I can see how they freeze the video and have him sitting there like this. And everybody else is talking. I'm like, Remember, guys, you got to investigate. Again, and we try to do the best we can. Again, we're trying to show it from both sides of the fence. We don't want to just harp on and say, yeah, it's all rigged. But then again, look where you work. Look how much corruption goes on in your day-to-day job. Things that you say that, man, how's he getting away with this? Remember, we're in a society of a pack. Sometimes that you walk into a particular facility, wherever you work, and that could be already, hey, such and such is getting ahead because he's cool with this person, that, and the third. It's everywhere. But I don't think corruption completely kills the sport itself or humanity, period. Yeah, we have a few bad apples, but that's why we live life, so we can continue to evolve. When we return, politics as usual. Well, this is our final thoughts, and we be back in 60.
Blessings sent from above, grow and carry love. Nature planted the seed with great simplicity. So vast is the whole universe. So strong is the whole universe.
Welcome back to Proper Talk. Thanks again for watching. In this portion of the show, we're going to conclude with politics as usual. Nate's going to give you his final thoughts.
And my final thoughts is this. It's character. We do live in a world that we're constantly judged about the things that we do and say. Simply know this. To get respect, you must also deserve the respect. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And that will shine through.
Thanks again for watching. Please tune in next week. We'll be shooting live from the streets. Part 2 is sports rig, except we're going to be coming with the perspective of the people. So please tune in and check it out.
That's right.
We're also going to be discussing NBA free agency, because you know that's about to heat up.
Oh, yes, most definitely, man.
And I know this is proper talk, and I know we wasn't the most proper today.
Hey.
However, we will continue to bring that proper perspective.
Oh, yeah.
And although Nate spoke about character,
Yes.
always remember, the only sign deals if the math is real.
No doubt.
Thanks for tuning in. We out, man.
Peace.